Okay, so if you've gone out of your way to watch any episodes of the show for whatever reason there are, you may have probably had just as many questions as I have. Why is this show so mean-spirited? Why are the characters twisted into such a-holes? Why are their races swapped when it changes nothing? Why is this show acting like it's intellectually superior when this show is either toilet humor or cultural commentary? And of course, the questions do not stop there. You may have also noticed that pretty much all of these questions that are constantly being brought to your attention as you watch have absolutely no answers. Reason why is because, well, it doesn't matter. Let me show you what matters. I am still firmly locked in on the opinion that after watching the show, there is nothing to be offended by, since it's trying so pitifully hard to be edgy and relevant. My lost temper is not about this show. My lost temper is based off of how much of an asshole Mindy Kaling clearly is. Boys, this video series was originally going to be 8 parts long. Yes, 8 whole parts. I planned it all out. But I decided to cut it short here because, well, I just refuse to continue subjecting myself to this. If you're a longtime fan of my YouTube channel, you're probably wondering, but Jack, why do that? You read I Am Not Starfire all the way through, and that was essentially the same thing as this, so why are you stopping here? And if you're thinking that, you're sorta right, but here's the deal. This show is a little bit different. You see, I Am Not Starfire is just straight up Mariko Tamaki's high school diary. As cancerous as that comic is, it's actually morbidly fascinating to develop an understanding of Mariko's actual life, personality, and experiences via the projection-riddled scenes within the Oval comic. Velma, on the other hand, is just... well, it's basically Mindy Kaling's animated soapbox. With this, you're just learning about how toxic and unbearable this bitch's personality is every single time she veers the progression of the plot off to insult, complain, or make a passive-aggressive diss towards something she doesn't like. Both pieces of media are toxic as all fuck, but one is morbidly fascinating and the other is completely exhausting. And trust me, it goes deeper than that. Boys, we need to stop pretending that this is a show. We need to. Because that is not what this is. This is not an animated program meant to entertain us. This is also not a television show intentionally meant for us to hate it for rage views, quote unquote. This is not some demented evil smear campaign for the Scooby-Doo franchise. And this is also not some political psyop or whatever. This is none of the above. What this all is just Mindy Kaling's ego trip. It's just a mishandled, confused disaster made by Mindy Kaling for Mindy Kaling. Just like I Am Not Starfire, exactly like I Am Not Starfire, this is not a piece of media that's supposed to take a beloved IP in a new and unique direction. What this is just some idiot twisting that IP around just for some stupid bitch to jack her own dick off, bro. Every single episode basically just boils down to Mindy Kaling just using the Scooby-Doo intellectual property to flick her fucking bean and stroke her ego, bro. It's freaking disgusting. Look at this. Look at this image that I've been using for this video series. Now look at the top. Mindy Kaling is Velma. There you go. This is just the Mindy Kaling show. That's the reason why this show is such a mess of random tonal whiplash, because it doesn't matter if it's a mess or not. What matters is if it's what Mindy Kaling wants. Okay, bringing up I Am Not Starfire again. Remember how I said that comic was just a glorified fantasy fulfillment project, as well as just the random hazy memories of the creator's diary, haphazardly slapped into a story? Yeah, well, Velma is basically just Mindy Kaling's Twitter feed. Random feelings that she has, random opinions she has towards politics, her personal desires, you name it, it's all awkwardly jammed into this mess of a friggin' show. And as an unsurprising result, everything in this story is illogical as fuck. Characters are illogical as fuck. No character in this show feels like an individual with a personality. What every character actually feels like is Mindy Kaling sticking her hand up a character's ass and making them say the words and things that she personally feels like a goddamn puppet show. The cast of this show are completely mishandled, but guess what? It doesn't matter if the characters' actions and choices make no sense. What matters is whether these characters inflate Mindy Kaling's fragile ego or not. You think it's a total coincidence that two of the male leads of the Mystery Gang have been modified to be these beta males that are self-emasculating on an episodic basis? You think it's a total coincidence that the only other female of the group gets to have this constant lesbian tension with Mindy Kaling? You think it's a total coincidence that this all borderline boils down into one of those terrible self-insert fantasy comics on Webtoon that you'd see me make fun of? The plot is also illogical as all fuck. As I've said before, the story is a drag to get through, because every single moment the story has any opportunity to progress, every single character needs to halt that progress by openly stating its self-awareness of how these stories you've seen a jillion times end up. They do this once every 3 seconds to always remind you that this show is super smart and self-aware, but one, it's not at all, and two, it's impossible to take the friggin' plot seriously. For example, the show wants you to care about this stupid, blossoming LGBT relationship between Mindy Kaling and her custom race-swapped Scooby-Doo OC, but then they're still slinging these cheap-ass political commentary jokes and remarks left, right, and center. So, are you supposed to take the story seriously, or are you only supposed to care about what the message is? Am I supposed to be excited to see the origins of the Scooby-Doo gang as advertised in the first episode? Or am I supposed to be excited to see Mindy Kaling's little soapbox insults? You cannot have it both ways here. You can't give me a narrative I'm supposed to care about, then take me out of the narrative because you like to talk shit about privileged white folks. But guess what? It doesn't matter if it's tonal whiplash for the viewers. What matters is whether or not those random commentary jabs are disses that Mindy Kaling likes or not. What also matters in this situation is not whether the LGBT relationship Velma has is fleshed out. What actually matters is whether Mindy Kaling gets to salivate over her self-insert kissing and making out with her favorite Scooby-Doo character or not. That is what matters. Velma in this show is never challenged as a person. You wanna know why? Because Mindy Kaling is too egomaniacal to be challenged. Velma never grows as a person. You wanna know why? Because Mindy Kaling does not have the humility to become a better person. It's way easier for her to just sit the fuck around and live in her little fantasy world bubble of false victimhood, complaining about how privileged white males are, while in the same breath of sexually harassing her actors, threatening to fire her producers for getting away with it, and bragging about it live on a talk show like it's some kind of fucking accomplishment. God, man! Look, boys, are you getting what I'm trying to say here? This show is like a Matryoshka doll made of shit. And the reason why is because the show is all about Mindy Kaling. Not the Mystery Gang, not even Velma. Mindy. Her sad little ego has tainted every single frame of this animated series. Mindy Kaling is very clearly a toxic asshole, and since Mindy is the purpose of this entire show, she herself makes the show toxic and assholish around her as a result. Why do you think every single character is so nasty and douchey and trying way too hard to act all smart? Because that's just Mindy's cancerous personality being projected onto every single character. This show is trash, but to freaks like Mindy, it doesn't matter. All that matters to her is the message, quote unquote. And the sad thing about it is that it's not even the message that substandard Twitter weirdos like High Guardian Spice's creators were trying to ham fist. It's not about inclusivity or anything despite the constant commentary on it. It's not about a progressive message. It's not even about an inclusivity bias-based message. It's about Mindy Kaling's message. And Mindy's message is that the entire world should twist around for her idiotic desires. That is what matters. Whatever she thinks, she feels, and she wants is what the message of this is. And I shrugged it off at first, but now that I look deeper into it, I find it fucking infuriating. It is infuriating that assholes like her get to do this shit when there's actually talented people who want to make good animated series as opposed to wasting millions of dollars and the valuable time of talented animators half-assing something that millions of people all over the planet pray to God they could do for a fucking living. I'm finally legit pissed off at this. And what's sad is that my anger isn't even towards this trash show. It's towards Mindy Kaling herself. This girl is obviously a of the highest order. Her cancerous personality, her inflated ego, her revolting desires, they're all oozing off of every single passive-aggressive remark in every episode of this fucking show. This is why I refuse to continue reviewing this. This is why I refuse to continue watching more episodes of this shit, because there's nothing to gather here. The actual show is paper thin. The creator of the show's personal bias is the only substance there is in this. That is all this entire series is. And I'm not gonna keep putting myself through this shit. I'm basically wasting 24 minutes of my life reading Mindy Kaling's Twitter feed, not watching a show I can analyze and rant at for you guys' entertainment. I'm sorry, boys, but I refuse to subject myself to that, much less you guys. This show's existence is the ultimate example of what happens when ego is the only thing that runs studios, and identity is the reason why you get top positions in businesses as opposed to your actual competence. And that is why Velma sucks. It's time for the Patreon roll call. My $10 supporters are Cute Eater, Duke Dragon Hearthfire the 10th, Jack G, Joseph Vincent, Mr. Foursome, Procrastinator Dave, Syndron 7, and Stormy Knight. And let's not forget our $5 supporters. Dark Damien, Dragonlight Z, Elijah Holland, Phaedra Galaxy, Jambo J, Justin Giaconi, Kick Asterisk, Spink Pink Squam Pants, and Zephyr Zodiac. If you'd like to be in the credits as well, you know where to find me. Thanks for watching.